La Niña, LA, and our winter forecast. First of all, La Niña is setting up, and right now it's in between a weak and a moderate strength. And so, what exactly does this mean for us in Southern California? First of all, 21 seasons of La Niña since 1950. 5 of those have been above average with rain. But look at this. 16 have been below average, so basically every 2 out of every 3 La Niñas is dry for us in Southern California. You compare that with El Niños, where we've had 24 seasons since 1950, and it's an even 12 and 12, and many times El Niños have a reputation for being wet in Southern California, but as you can see, that isn't always the case. So what is La Niña? Simply put, it's cooler than average temperatures off the coast of South America, and that sets into motion a chain of events that affects the jet stream. And so what we see in Southern California, typically 2 out of every 3 times, is high pressure setting up, bringing a dry and warm pattern. However, what we saw last year was the jet stream moved in a record amount of snow in the northern Sierra. It brought in good rains for our winter here in Southern California. So La Niña isn't always dry. However, it is tough to get back-to-back La Niñas with above average rain. That's why the forecast is 67% of average. So in other words, if 15 inches of rain is average for LA, if this forecast holds to be true, we should get 7 to 8 inches. The excess rain will be here in the northern United States. You can see where we are in Southern California here, and an equal chance in Northern California, which would be good for, again, staying out of drought conditions. So we'll see what happens. As far as temperatures go, doesn't look good for us in Southern California, especially for the mountain resorts. If we have a +3 degree temperature increase on average, that's going to be really tough to where when we do get snow that it sticks around, and it looks like the colder temperatures again more in the northern United States. So again, something to watch for a Sierra snowpack to see how warm it is in California. 3 things to consider. La Niña isn't always dry. There's the potential that we could transition to an El Nino, and then bookend years. Let's start with the first one. The average is almost 15 inches of rain. The strongest La Nina we've ever had. We got right to average, and of course last year we ended up with more than 19 inches of rain. That was great. The transition to El Nino, so basically because it's a weak La Nina, there's always a chance that it goes to an El Nino. If that happens, this is kind of interesting. We've always ended up with more rain than the year prior. So again, something to watch. Bookend years, we went through an awful 5-year drought in Southern California. Here's your bookends above average. What happens this year? Did you know the average length of a bookend, in other words, to get back-to-back rainy years, is fairly rare because that average is only a year and a half. We are now entering the rainy season here in Southern California, where we average a little more than 1 inch of rain. So far, it hasn't been good in November. We've got another week of no rain really planned. 1/100th of an inch, and the average again is 1 inch of rain. And just like those temperature trends, you see how we have these warm temperatures, and it looks like this string of warm and even hot temperatures, potentially even in the 90s this week, is there. That is your forecast. La Niña, Los Angeles, and the winter.